Geicherrie McDowell. This is for my Dre 098 class. Dr. Paul Jones is my teacher. This is Abigail. I'm going to be interviewing her today. Hi, Abby.
Hi, how are you?
Our first question is, how do you feel your language is a benefit to America?
Well, first of all, my other language that I speak is Spanish, and I believe it's a benefit to America because that influences other people to learn the language, because some Spanish-speaking people can't talk English, so that motivates them to learn Spanish. That's a benefit.
Are there a lot of opportunities for the Spanish-speaking people to learn? Are there classes that you can take?
There is. Some of them you have to pay for them. Some of them are offered free through like Voitech or churches. So there is.
Would you say that it's easier to learn the language through television or one-on-one?
I think that it's easier to learn the language one-on-one because that way you have somebody talking to you and you know what's going on. And like, for example, if you learn it on television, you know, they're just telling it to you and you're not able to ask questions. Like, you can't go with the TV and, hey, can you explain this to me? And if you have somebody explaining it to you, you have that opportunity to ask questions and get your question answered at that moment.
So being that your parents are not from here, how hard is it for them to learn the language?
For my dad, it wasn't hard because he had a higher level of education than my mom did. And he took the opportunity of learning English through a community college, and he had the motivation from his friends to go ahead and do it, and knowing that he had to communicate with others, so he had to learn the language. So it was more of a need than just because he wanted to. And for my mom, it's harder for her because she has a lower level of education, and it's hard for her to remember things, and she's a little bit older now. She's older than 30, and as the older you get, it's harder for you to learn another language.
Do you feel like knowing different languages opens up a lot of opportunities as far as like jobs?
It does, because in the real world, there's not going to be just people that talk English. There's going to be a various amount of people that talk Spanish, French, Japanese, all types of languages. So the more you know, the more that the bosses, they look at you and they're like, oh, well, she knows more than a language. So they hire you.
Well, we've been talking with Abigail, and we'd like to thank you for doing this interview, and thank you. Have a great day.